Welcome back to Asterisk. Today, I'm going to explain the input and output concept and show you how to build a romance flow. Let's dive in. First, let's start with the basics that need to go into an agent node. For our tutorial today, we're going to begin by setting up the output structure. In our summary node, we'll create a new structured output with the name new_summary. I'll paste in a description that I've prepared in advance. Now, let's check out the variables panel. See that? In the agent output section, you can now see our new variable has appeared. This is the key concept. Once you create a structured output in an agent node, it becomes available as a variable that can be used anywhere else in your workflow. Next up, let's create a data node. I'm going to pull up the data schema list that I created earlier. Now here's where the magic happens. I'm going to apply the output we just created as an input to this data node. And just like that, the output from our agent node flows directly into the data node as input. You can see how the previous summary connects with our summary.newSummary variable. Time for the highlight. We're going to create multiple variables in our main character node. I'll create about 4 different variables. Thoughts about user, explain delta. Affection level, delta, affection level. Lastly, character response. Look at that! Now you can see all these variables have stacked up in our variables panel on the right. These are all available to use as inputs in other nodes. Now I'm going to show you how to reuse these outputs as inputs. Let me create another data node. Here, I'm going to add the main character delta affection level that we just created. This will show us the numerical change in affection. And let's create one more. Thoughts about user data. Here, I'll add the thoughts about user output we just made. See what happened here? We just used 2 of the 4 variables we created in our agent node. This demonstrates the power of asterisk's variable system. You can create multiple outputs in one agent node and selectively use them as inputs across different nodes. Finally, let's look at the response design node. This is where we can use any and all outputs, both previously used ones and any remaining ones. Think of it this way. If you've created an output, it should be used at least once somewhere in your workflow. The response design is essentially creating a template for how your characters will respond in the session. You can see here we're using conditional logic. This creates a beautiful formatted response that shows the character interaction, affection changes, and explanations all in one cohesive output. Look how it comes together. The response shows the character's actions, the affection level changes with heart emojis, and the character's dialogue, all formatted beautifully. You see, this entire workflow becomes one giant input, and the character's response in the session becomes the final output. Think about it this way. You build this complex flow with multiple agent nodes and data processing. Each agent node creates structured outputs that feed into other parts of the system. The response design pulls it all together into a final template. When a user interacts in a session, this whole workflow processes their input and generates the character response. All right, let me summarize today's key points right here on screen. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. That's the complete input and output concept in Asterisk. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.